Welcome back to TRF1, the Rest is F1 podcast. I'm your host, Shaq, and today with me, as normal, I've got ABD. And unfortunately, again, Hamdan is not here, but we're going to get on with the review for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2024. We're going to talk about the crazy race today, or on the weekend, and we're going to talk about the good drivers, the bad drivers, good teams, bad teams, and yeah, I think it was a very interesting weekend, um, to say the least. We had another uh multiple race winner. This time was the other McLaren driver, Oscar Piastri. What do you think about that, Abdul?
What a race. I've heard a lot of people saying, some people saying this is one of the best races so far this season, comparing it closely to the Silverstone Grand Prix. So, yeah, it was a great race. And man, oh man, like Piastri and Leclerc, they were giving it full beans until the last lap. That's what we would like to see, right? As a racing
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
and yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to see that battle until the last lap. Like the drifting on the 14th corner on on the circuit,
Yeah.
people posting the Tokyo Drift reels. It was one of the best races this season, definitely.
Yeah. It really was McLaren versus Ferrari, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Norris and Sainz as well. They were just really good. And yeah, even though we didn't get them top four, we
yeah,
had a pretty good battle between the two cars. So
correct. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate that Norris couldn't, show his full strength in qualifying due to that yellow flag, white flag issue during the qualifying and getting knocked out in
yeah,
one.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, if he was also there, it would have been a four-way fight, um,
Oh
which is
yeah, that would have been crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, speaking of McLaren, there's been a lot of talks about their rear wing, which I'm not sure if they brought it this weekend, but it's called the Flexi Wing. And it's kind of like a mini DRS. It's like opens up the flap on the very side of the rear wing. What do you think about that? Because I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of questions about that one.
yeah. I'm thinking cheating or engineering brilliance. There's a lot of videos floating on the online about it at the moment. There are people
Yeah,
comparing to the 2021 Red Bull wings. Um, yeah, we'll see what they bring in Singapore, if they change the rear wing after this controversy. But it's when you look at the videos, it's clearly giving like a slide DRS with the slide
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And I think gives an advantage for a lead car where you can't have DRS, right? Being in the lead. So
yeah,
it opening up slightly definitely, I think gives them an advantage. We haven't seen anything
yeah,
from the FIA about it, so let's see if there is any news coming up before the next race.
yeah. Well, actually, I think because it's been a couple of days after the race now,
Yeah,
they can't actually do anything.
yeah. And I
So
also
Piastri
saw,
definitely still gets the win. Yeah,
yeah, 100%. And I also saw this someone posting the FIA document after each race. So they checked all components of Piastri's car and everything complied to the rules and regulations. And there's this document that F1 gives to every team, which Piastri has also got. So the car is within the rules and regulations, but I'm pretty sure other
okay,
teams are going to keep a close eye on it. Maybe, change the
yeah,
rear wing to match what McLaren is using, or
yeah,
try to
yeah,
ban
exactly.
from the race.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. Maybe you'll get some changes, but I mean, I'm gonna stick to McLaren with this, but like Piastri, what a race! Like the way that guy he was defending, and obviously the initial move that was the winner that won him the race, literally.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you think about it, right? So he overtook Norris in Hungary, corner one. He overtook Norris
Yeah.
in Monza. He overtook
Yeah.
Leclerc in Baku. And if you look at all three overtakes, it's clean, it's on the limit, and exactly what he said, which is max risk, max commitment. That's exactly what he does. It's full
Yeah.
commitment with so much risk involved.
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah.
a clean move, end of the day. So yeah, what a race. And I'm now thinking he's the real deal, man. And I strongly think he's going to give a lot of headaches to McLaren with having two number one drivers or pushing Norris to number two. So yeah, amazing driver, just insane skills to add to that.
Yeah, I think he did such a good job just like defending pretty much. I think Leclerc attacked him at least like 10 times, probably more,
Correct.
on how
Yeah.
many laps he was just so close and he was able to defend constantly.
Yeah.
I think that was just really good to see. And it's crazy to think he's only done, like 40 odd race starts now.
It's only his
So,
second season, right? It's only his second
yeah,
season.
it's his second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
also
yeah, that's
this,
crazy.
yeah, thinking about the numbers, and I heard him say he don't care about numbers at the moment, but as fans we have to, I guess. And if you look at the last seven races, he'll be leading the championship. So he's at his best at the moment.
Yeah.
And you remember last season,
Yeah.
Jack, one of his um, downside was his racecraft, like saving tires and everything last season. Now that's
Yeah.
gone. Now he has
That's
learned.
gone. Yeah, yeah.
Now he's learned how to match Norris, how to beat Norris, how to, keep the tires last as long as it can. So, yeah, just gone one notch up this season. I can't just wait for next season where he is actually, fighting for the championship.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Oscar's just completely changed how he's gone. I think I saw a comment the other day, but someone was saying Oscar's uh like improvement in skill has been quicker than Red Bull's downfall. So I
Ouch.
think that's really good for McLaren. Yeah, exactly. Ouch. Um, yeah, so I think like you said, he is the real deal. And next year, if I was to say who's gonna win between the two McLarens, I would pick Oscar over Norris right now because he has been crazy good.
Yeah,
And like you said again, like he's been the top scorer of points for like the last 10 races. I think he scored like 130, 140 points.
correct. Yeah,
And then the next person was like 93, 94 or something like that. So, um, yeah, I think he's going to be really good,
yeah,
obviously, for the rest of this year.
yeah.
And yeah, we'll see
And
what happens.
yeah, can't wait, can't wait. And even the next races, I think is going to be
Yeah,
very,
exactly.
yeah. Just staying on McLaren,
Um,
they have taken the lead in the Constructors' Championship,
yeah, that's true.
which is a big milestone. I think it's after
Absolutely, yeah.
10, 12 years or something that they have led the Constructors' Championship. I think it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2014 last time they ever led a championship. So what an achievement. And I don't know if you've seen this, but last season, I think it was in Bahrain, there were the last cars um, on the table after the first few races, and how they have shifted
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that to where they are now. The
Yeah, literally last to first.
correct, yeah, which is
Yeah.
massive. We have to give it hats off for like Andrea Stella, like building that team, um,
Yeah, yeah.
being the team principal. It's just amazing to see. And remember, they're not um, they're using Mercedes engine, right? They're not a manufacturer as such. So it is
Yeah,
just
exactly.
awesome to see them up ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we talked about McLaren quite enough there. Well done to them,
And they deserve
obviously.
it.
But yeah, they do deserve absolutely the way they turned it around. But we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the Sainz Perez crash. What do you think? Whose fault was it?
Okay, I've been chatting about this with my other friends who are huge F1 fans as well. And one
Yeah,
thing we all agree to is both of them could have easily avoided that crash. Uh,
absolutely.
and I think for me, even though I had Perez as my good drive for my predictions for Baku, I think it's more Perez's fault than Sainz, given the fact that he had three cars with on his left side where he could have moved the car to. Um,
Yeah,
so it's just a shame that they both crashed. I would have loved to seen that battle
absolutely. Yeah.
until the checkered flag, but it didn't happen. But yeah, that's what it is. What do you think, Shaq? Whose fault do you think it was?
Um, Actually, so initially I did say it was Science's fault. I looked initially seeing it, I thought, he's ahead. Um, he doesn't need to move across.
Yeah,
But then, couple looks at the replay, and I have to agree with you. It was Checo's fault, definitely.
yeah,
The amount of space that he had to the left. He was not even in the middle. He was like more in the right of the track.
yeah, and
And that shows how much more easily he could have avoided the incident than Sainz.
yeah,
Because one thing I saw actually was I noticed in the clip obviously his steering wheel was completely straight after he made the corner, but even before he kept going straight, he had just a little move to the right, and then he kept going straight. So that just made it completely worse. And honestly, I think now, looking back and all that, I have to go with I have to say Checo's just really thrown himself out of what could have been a podium after a really long time.
yeah,
And even though I would say it was a good drive
yeah,
from Perez, absolutely,
yeah.
that
Beating
really
Max is
ruined it and not
beating
took it down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beating Max is not a small deal in qualifying.
absolutely, yeah.
And like why Perez didn't move, like why he keep going straight after the sec after
The DRS,
exactly, exactly. So
yeah,
they were both trying to
yeah,
get the DRS from Leclerc. And
yeah,
the one thing I think most of us forget is the second straight in Baku, that is also really long, but we don't feel it because the first straight is the start finish straight is
is
like
even longer.
even
Yeah, yeah,
longer.
yeah,
The second straight is really long, and DRS can help cars. So they were both trying for the DRS. It didn't work out, but yeah, unfortunately, they both crashed out. We could have seen a really good battle if they went on until um, the finish line.
yeah. Well, yeah, like continuing on about Checo, I mean, let's talk about the other side, the Red Bull garage. Like Max Verstappen, what's going on? Just completely, just not there in the car at all today. Just every 5 seconds, all I could hear was a Max radio about some problem with the car.
Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah, very frustrated. Max Verstappen, how the wins have shifted from you know 7 wins in a row to I don't know with 10 races with no wins at all, which is crazy to think about. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I understand how Perez would have beaten him in Baku. Baku is like a very technical track where Perez have really performed well in the past. So I think that's just a one-off. I think in the next races, Max will still be ahead of Perez. But yeah, Red Bull has just gone backwards, and I feel like they are in that spiral now where Ferrari were after Monaco, where they
yeah,
came up with an upgrade and just went backwards. And I think you were talking
yeah.
about
I think it's
the 2023 connection on how
yeah, yeah. That's true.
everything
Yeah.
started from 2023. Yeah,
Yeah, so they had been looking back at the data and they tracked back the problem was from 2023, one of the upgrades that Red Bull put in. Checo's car was the same or something like that, and Max kept winning, and so they ignored the problem that Checo had, and from then on, Checo seemed to have all the issues, and now it looks like it's come back to bite them really bad. Um, yeah, like you said, they're absolutely nowhere right now. Even Checo, uh, despite being in the hunt for a podium, I think that car is just really hindering that team right now.
Yeah.
Uh, it's crazy. I mean, like we were talking about it a couple races ago, but this is even worse, I think. Um, honestly, apart from the fact that Checo is competing from the win, I see absolutely no positives for Red Bull right now.
Yeah,
Um,
they
yeah,
gone backwards in the Constructors' Championship, so they're in second place now,
exactly. Yeah.
20 odd points behind McLaren already. Um,
And I
and
think Ferrari is probably another 30 behind them now. So,
exactly, that's close as well. Yeah, I don't think they will be able to keep the second place either. We'll see how it goes. Maybe they can turn it around in
yeah.
a few races, but yeah, and it also brings the Drivers' Championship so close. I know it's
Yeah, exactly.
60 odd points, about 60 odd points, but I think it is doable for Norris, given the fact that Max is finishing fifth or sixth in the coming races. If that form continues, how they are now, but I think Lando could win it if he don't make any mistakes and if he can
But
keep up.
yeah, but Lando really needs to he needs to capitalize right now. Just be really on it. He can't mess up. He can't have this problem that he had in Baku. Obviously, I know it wasn't really his fault, but you can't be putting yourself at risk like that. Um he needs to be I think he needs to be winning about three races. Just whenever it is. He just needs to win three more races and he's really gonna be right on Max's tail. Or
Yeah,
even two races.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But we'll stay on the topic of that. Do you think Norris will actually catch Verstappen?
I think so. I think so. I think it will be a Abu Dhabi battle where
2021.
I don't want to go back to that topic anymore, but yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
go to the wire. I don't know, maybe 25 points. Max is only 25 points ahead in the last race. That would be just, yeah, I wouldn't miss that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now the gap is 59 points.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I said, if Norris wins two or three races, Max finishes fifth, sixth, seventh,
Yeah,
that's
Max
gonna
have
be
to be
a
very
big
careful
problem.
now. Yeah, Max have to be very careful now. Starting in front row is not same as starting in fifth or sixth. You can get into one of those
Yeah.
DNF DNFs where you crash out, being covered by
Yeah.
multiple cars. So yeah, it'll be an interesting 7 races um on the calendar.
Yeah. Um, well, we'll keep talking about the championship actually, because as much as we are talking about Norris catching Verstappen, what about Charles Leclerc? He's not that far behind either. He's only in like another 20 points behind Norris. So do you think he can catch up as well?
I think that's why he has been performing so well in the last few races. He knows there is a chance, and I think Ferrari's upgrades are working now. So I think he will be a force to reckon with, like in the next few races. He got, did he get pole in Monza? No, I think
He got
Norris. He was third. He
third.
was third,
He
yeah.
got third,
He
yeah.
was third in Monza, but he won the race. He was on pole in Baku. He finished second. Yeah, I think for him, Baku was a missed opportunity. He made a mistake giving that
Yeah.
too much space for Piastri to overtake on that straight.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I think after the pit stop, he couldn't bring the hard tires into temperature. But I think Ferraris are up there now, fighting closely with McLarens. And to answer your question, like if Norris makes a mistake, um, Charles is going to be as close to Max as Norris is. So, it,
Yeah,
if we get a three-way battle, yeah, I'm all for it.
yeah. I would like to see where we put our rankings at the end of the season. Uh, we'll definitely do a video for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, I think Charles has really been upping his game. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, Baku is definitely a missed opportunity for him. I think but that's also one thing about that is that's credit to Charles for being like fair racing, not just completely blocking and being a bit dirty like maybe Norris or Verstappen was in, one of those races earlier in the year. But yeah, I think like you said, Charles, why not? Why not be in the fight?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but
Who would
one
you
other team we're
prefer?
going to talk about, huh?
Sorry, before we go to the next one, who would you prefer winning
Yeah,
the championship? Charles in a Ferrari or Norris in a McLaren?
absolutely, Charles in the Ferrari,
Yeah.
absolutely. I the problem. Now this is going to be a bit off topic, but we're going to talk about it because we may as well. But the problem with Norris is, as much as he is a very likable character, ever since he started winning, he's got a very arrogant side to him that's coming out now, and it's really swaying me away from. I look, don't get me wrong, if Norris wins the championship, I won't be mad at all. I'll be happy for him. But I feel Charles will be more graceful with the win. He's much more down to earth
Yeah.
with that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And who wouldn't love seeing a Ferrari winning the championship after, I don't know,
Exactly.
15, 16, 17 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see. We don't know who's gonna do it, but we'll know once we get a bit closer. We might get an idea of what's gonna happen. But yeah, we'll see. Um, okay. Well, we've talked about the top three, well, top two teams, and then Red Bull, but one team that was really up there going into the mid-season, Mercedes, what is going on? Just like Red Bull, what is happening? Where's the performance gone? It's just in the bin right now, isn't it?
Yeah. And both drivers complaining. George was lucky to be on the podium again. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
uh, and complaining about the tires. I think, yeah, he was going all out on the Pirelli tires in the press conferences after the race. But the comment from Hamilton, I don't know if you heard the radio where he said, "Can you see how I'm driving?" It was just painful to see both those drivers
Yeah,
struggling with the car.
yeah, especially, they had won 3 out of 4 races not so long ago. Like, let's not forget about that.
Exactly.
And just to see them drop back down again, I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, they're still decent, but you know, they might not be like how they were at the start of the year, where they couldn't finish P7. But this is really bad,
Well, he finished
and they got to
P9.
do. Yeah, exactly. And they got to do something like what McLaren have done last year to even be near a championship again.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I also think the car is not very predictable. If you
Yeah,
remember, Hamilton had a very positive feedback after free practice one and two. I think he
yeah,
was in both the sessions, he was like on the top three. Um,
yeah. He was in your top three. Yeah.
the car just fell backwards on the race on the qualifying day. And also they took
Hmm.
that opportunity to change his engine, which made him start on the pit lane. So yeah, not a great day for the Mercedes. But Singapore,
Yeah.
that they are usually strong in Singapore. Let's see how they perform. Um, yeah, but yeah, unfortunate they were not in the fight in Baku.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about one more Mercedes powered team. Williams. What a job, you know? Like you could easily say they had a better day than Mercedes or Red Bull. Like P7 and 8 with Albon and Colapinto gets first points in his career for F1. Like, what do you think about that?
Amazing. They almost celebrated it like they won the championship. I saw some of the photos.
Yeah.
They were just so happy to be seventh and eighth. Colpindo, man, second race, no pressure. I'll just finish in points ahead of Lewis Hamilton,
Yeah.
almost beating his own teammate.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing drive from the Williams team. Again, much like you said, Mercedes powered car beating Mercedes in a race. It's just too good. I think only they made only one mistake in the whole weekend, which was leaving
Hmm.
the cooler, the air
The
cooler.
cooler on the car. Yeah. That was bad.
And they were
That
lucky
was that was pretty bad.
not to get a fine or a penalty for it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
yeah, amazing race. I hope they continue this form in Singapore as well, and they move upwards in the championship. It would be great to see that team moving ahead. I'm really keen now to see where Colapinto will drive. I know he's
Yeah.
only here for the next few races for the season, and Sainz would
Yeah.
take over his seat. It'd be it'd be a shame if he's not on the grid next year. And I think it's a great opportunity for a team like Sauber or I don't know has already finalized, but yeah, one of those teams to pick him up
Yeah.
as the main driver.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I think he did a great job. But I want to be careful with this. I don't want to go ahead and say he's going to be really good because I felt that way about Nick De Vries when he drove that one race for Williams. You know, he finished in the points straight away. I was like, oh yeah, this guy has to be in F1. You know, he's done so well in one race. And maybe a streak of form, kind of like Liam Lawson last year. If something like that was what Colapinto did, I think that could definitely give him a chance of a seat.
Yeah, I don't think it's a one-off for Colapinto, like his form. He beat Alex Albon, which is not a small deal. Alex Albon's like
Yeah,
a fast driver, so I think he is going to show the same form in the next races. Yeah, but yeah, great day for Williams, and great to see like James Walls celebrating it with those two drivers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think it'll be a one-off. I just hope it's not a one-off.
Yeah,
We want to see these drivers succeed, of course. So,
absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that pretty much covers uh the wonderful race we had at Baku. But one last thing. What are we rating the race out of 10?
For me, it is one of the best races so far in the season. The
Yeah,
best, like the top race for me so far has been Silverstone.
yeah,
The changing weather conditions, changing lead from McLaren to
yeah,
Mercedes. So that was my top, but Baku would come second for me, and for that reason, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
yeah. I agree. Definitely. I would probably exactly what you said. I would put Silverstone as first because we just didn't know who was gonna win. But this time it was pretty much kind of the same thing. We were like, oh, is Oscar gonna hold on? Is Leclerc gonna re-overtake him and stuff? So yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is what I would give it as well. Uh, Hopefully we get exactly the kind of action for the next what 7, 8 races, whatever it is left
Yeah,
for the season, and yeah, it'll be amazing. So hopefully guys you've enjoyed. We will be doing the Singapore preview soon. and we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.